Imagine waking up in the middle of the night and being unable to move. You try to scream, but no sound comes out. You try to lift your hand, but your body won't obey, as if someone had pinned you to the bed. And then you feel that you're not alone, that something is standing in the corner of the room watching. You are fully awake, your eyes are open, and you are paralyzed inside your own body. If you've ever experienced this, you're not going insane and you're not in danger. Your brain did exactly what it was designed to do, just at the worst possible moment. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why almost every culture on Earth invented a demon for this, and why your own brain creates a monster that isn't there. Let's start with a question that sounds absurd. Why are you paralyzed at all when you sleep? Because you are, every night. You just don't notice, because you're unconscious at the time. Your sleep is divided into stages, and the most important is called REM, from rapid eye movement. It's during REM that you dream most intensely. Your brain is then almost as active as when you're awake. It sees images, hears sounds, lives through entire stories. And here a problem arises that evolution had to solve. If there's an action scene playing out in your head where you run, fight, and flee, then what stops your body from actually doing it? Your brain switches you off. The moment you enter REM, your brainstem sends a signal that cuts your muscles off from conscious control. The phenomenon is called muscle atonia. Two neurotransmitters, glycine and GABA, literally paralyze your body from the neck down. You can't move because if you could, you would act out your dreams. You'd kick, run, leap out the window. Atonia is a safety system that immobilizes you every night for your own good. And usually it works perfectly. You fall asleep, the body switches off, you dream, and in the morning the system lifts the lock a split second before you wake. You never catch it in the act. But sometimes something misfires. Sometimes your consciousness switches on before the atonia has switched off. The mind wakes, but the body is still locked. And that is sleep paralysis. You're awake, thinking, seeing the room you're lying in, but your muscles are still in sleep mode, still cut off by the brainstem. Your brain got its timing wrong by a few seconds, and those few seconds can be the most terrifying experience of your life. Because now comes the second part. You might be thinking that if it's only a brief paralysis, what's so frightening about it? You lie there a few seconds and it passes. If that were where it ended, no one would have invented demons. But it doesn't end there. Because along with your body, one more thing stays stuck in sleep mode. Your dreams. You're awake, but you're still half in REM, where the brain generates images. So your mind starts letting elements of the dream leak into the real room. You see your walls, your bed, your ceiling, and the brain adds things that aren't there, and it always adds the same ones. Scientists studying sleep paralysis discovered something remarkable. People all over the world, regardless of country, culture, or era, describe almost identical experiences. The Canadian researcher Alan Cheney, who analyzed thousands of accounts, sorted them into 3 recurring types, and they appear in people who have never heard of one another. The first is the intruder presence, an overwhelming, rock-solid certainty that someone is in the room, that they're standing beside the bed or lurking in the corner. You don't see them clearly, but you know they're there, and you know they're not friendly. The second is pressure, a crushing weight on the chest, as if something were sitting on you. Breathlessness, the feeling you can't breathe, that something is pressing you into the mattress. The third is bodily sensations, a feeling of floating, falling, vibrating, the sense that you're being pulled from the bed or that something is touching you. And now understand what's happening here because it's genuinely fascinating. None of these things is random. Each of them is your own brain trying to make sense of the situation it's found itself in and doing it the only way it knows how. Take the pressure on your chest. In REM, your breathing is shallow and fast, controlled automatically, and the chest muscles are part of that atonia. When you wake up conscious, you try to breathe deliberately, deeply, but your body is still in the shallow breathing of sleep. You feel resistance, and the brain, searching for an explanation, offers the simplest one. Something is sitting on my chest. And the intruder presence, that's driven in part by the amygdala, the part of the brain that is your alarm system, your threat detector. In sleep paralysis, it's hyperactive. It's screaming that something is wrong, that you're in danger, because after all, you can't move. But there's no real threat it can point to. So the brain, flooded with a fear signal that has no source, does what it does best. It creates a source. If I feel this much fear, Then there must be someone here I should be afraid of. And it draws a figure into the corner of the room. Your brain literally hallucinates a monster to explain a fear it doesn't understand itself. And here the story gets even more interesting, because if all humans have the same brain, then all humans see the same thing. And that means sleep paralysis left a mark in every culture on Earth, long before science explained what was going on. The English word nightmare itself comes from the Old English mare, a demon believed to sit on sleepers' chests and suffocate them in the night. That's no coincidence. It's a direct description of sleep paralysis from hundreds of years ago. In many Slavic countries, the same demon had its own name, a creature believed to press down on the sleeping, sit on their chest, and drain their strength. In Japan, it was called kanashibari, a word meaning to be bound in metal chains. In Arab cultures, they spoke of a jinn pinning a person down. In China, of a ghost pressing on the body. In the American South, of a witch who rides you in the night, hag riding. Notice how astonishing this is. People from completely different continents who never met described exactly the same thing: the frozen body, the weight on the chest, the malevolent presence, because they all had the same brain, which at the same moment makes the same mistake and creates the same monster. The demons of legends all over the world are, in large part, one and the same error of the human brain, dressed in different costumes. It's even possible that some famous accounts of alien abductions are a modern version of the same story. The Harvard psychologist Susan Clancy and other researchers pointed out that the classic abduction reports, "I wake up, I can't move, strange beings are standing by my bed, I feel them doing something to me," are almost a textbook case of sleep paralysis. Only the costume of the monster has changed. Once it was a witch or a demon. Today, in the age of alien movies, the brain reaches for the image it knows. A gray being with huge eyes. The same phenomenon, the same error of the brain, a different era, a different monster. Now that you know where this comes from, a practical question arises. Can you do anything about it? Yes, and it starts with one thing you've just been given: knowledge. Studies show that simply understanding what sleep paralysis is can reduce the terror during an episode. If, in that moment, lying there unable to move, you think this is sleep paralysis, my brain got it wrong. That figure isn't real. You strip the experience of its greatest weapon, fear of the unknown. Because sleep paralysis in itself is completely harmless. It usually lasts from a few seconds to 2 minutes and always passes on its own. No one has ever died of sleep paralysis. The only dangerous thing is what a terrified mind adds to it. What else helps? Ordinary things, because sleep paralysis favors specific conditions. It appears more often when you're sleep deprived, when you sleep at irregular hours, when you're stressed, and when you sleep on your back. Studies confirm this. So if it happens to you often, sometimes all it takes is to put your sleep in order, get enough rest, go to bed at fixed times, and try sleeping on your side. And in the middle of an episode, when you can't move, there's one more trick. Don't fight your whole body at once, because that usually feeds the panic. Instead, try to move a single finger. Focus all your attention on the tip of a finger or a toe, and try to twitch it. That small movement is often enough to break the atonia and wake the whole body. So the next time you wake in the middle of the night, pinned to the bed with something standing in the corner of the room, remember what's really happening. Your consciousness woke a few seconds too early. Your body is still locked to protect you from your own dreams. And the figure in the corner isn't a demon, isn't a specter, isn't an alien. It's your own brain, afraid of what it doesn't understand, that it would rather create a monster than be left alone with a fear that has no face. For thousands of years, people woke the way you do and thought they were being haunted by evil. You have one advantage over them. You know the monster is made of you. And once you know that, it stops being frightening.